Lord have mercy.
Right?
Hello, hello. Before I
Hello.
even continue, I just want to make sure that you guys can hear us and there's no echo.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't hear an echo anymore, so
well, that's good.
hoping maybe we're good.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Oh my God, that was so frustrating. Hopefully, I think we're good. Sound is good? Okay. Man, I tell you what, this new update has really put a,
Messed with things.
oh God, yeah, a lot. So, I saw Shill yesterday. You said you were having issues after the update as well.
And it looked like
But
Ictmel was too.
yeah, Igmel was last night as well. So, yeah, here we are.
Here we are. It worked this time though, at least.
Yeah, I'm scared to
Progress.
touch it. I'm scared to
Yeah,
touch
exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
So, have you guys heard of the murder of Jared Bridegan? Jennifer, have you heard of this one?
I have not. I've heard
Oh,
like of it, but I've not heard anything about it. Like I've heard
okay.
it in passing, but I've not heard
Mm,
anything about it other than the Microsoft case. That's basically what I know about it.
yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that haven't heard of it. Um, and I mean, it hasn't gone to trial yet or anything, but this case um, got my attention shortly after he was murdered. The ex-wife and the wife, or ex-wife and her husband, had not been arrested yet. So what I'll do is I'll play a few clips, and then I have I have like the evidence report. It's hundreds of pages,
Holy
and
cow.
I only got to redacting like the first 50 pages.
Wow.
But
That's a lot.
this,
That's a lot of evidence.
well, I think they have like terabytes on terabytes on terabytes of
Wow.
stuff on this case. And this is just the evidence report. So I figured I would just start from the beginning. But she had a bond hearing, and
Oh,
that is interesting because they present evidence in it, you know.
yeah.
Um, and people testified in it. So we'll go over that a little bit, assuming we have time, and I'm sure that we do. But
Did they bond her out?
no,
Oh,
she has not.
okay.
Nope, she was denied bond.
Okay.
But this case is also very interesting because some people may know or have heard of Stampin' Up. It is a lot of people have called it an MLM. I'm not sure if it is or not, but it is a multi-million dollar company, and those are her parents that own it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so he was an executive for Microsoft when he was murdered. This was back in, what was it? It was February, I think.
Oh, so
Oh,
pretty
actually,
recent.
last, hold on. Let me grab my notebook thing because I do have notes on this. I forgot to even pull this out.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie. Is it in this notebook? Sorry, sorry, sorry.
You're in the same boat I am, Barbie. I don't know anything about it either, so it should be interesting.
Well, this is really interesting to me because Jose Baez, Casey Anthony's
Yep.
attorney, was retained.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see him, and he is in the bond hearing. But yeah, um, she was arrested in Florida. The body cam of her and her husband um, are it's on my channel under the body cams
Mhm.
playlist.
Okay.
But let me. I just realized I hit notification on my phone and I don't see one to notify me. Oh well, that's okay. Let me share real quick. really curious to see how. Did I not hit share? Here we go. It's good to see you guys.
There you go.
Okay, so this is the first one. And if it's too loud, let me know.
Back here in the U.S. tonight, the Microsoft executive who authorities say was killed in cold blood. Tonight, the ex-wife now charged with his execution-style murder with his young daughter in the back seat of his car. But authorities are now saying, and here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos tonight.
Tonight, Shanna Gardner, the ex-wife of Microsoft executive Jared Bridegan, is under arrest, charged with his execution-style murder in Jacksonville, Florida.
Shanna Gardner's indictment acknowledges her central and key role in the cold, calculated, and premeditated murder of Jared Bridegan.
A grand jury indicting Gardner for allegedly plotting with her new husband and a hitman to murder Bridegan last year. Prosecutors say the former couple shared 2 kids and had gone through a bitter divorce when he was lured out of his car to move a tire that had been intentionally placed in the street. Bullets barely missing his 2-year-old daughter in the back seat. That hitman has confessed to pulling the trigger, but Gardner's current husband has pleaded not guilty. In an interview last summer, Shanna Gardner denied any involvement in the murder.
Even though we didn't.
After, real quick, after Henry Tenon shot him, and the little girl was in the back seat, they left her there until a good Samaritan passed by, saw Bridegan in the road, and got the baby out and held on to the baby until. Yeah, we'll see that in the reports too.
Terrible. Yep. Why would she do that? What a ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
We didn't always get along. He was still the father of my kids.
Today, Jared Bridegan's heartbroken widow relieved to see this final arrest.
For 547 days, we've hoped and prayed that this day would come.
Shanna Gardner was taken into custody in Washington state, where she reportedly moved to with her 2 kids. She'll be extradited to Jacksonville, where she and her husband could face the death penalty. David.
Stephanie Ramos reporting tonight. Steph.
Okay.
So the kid was not her kid. It was a kid from his current wife?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he has twins with Shanna Gardner.
Okay.
And they're actually Shanna's parents and Jared's parents have been in a custody battle. They have not been able, Jared's parents have not been able to get any like visitation or anything.
So her parents have the kids then?
Yes.
Okay.
And she grew up in like a really Mormon family.
Okay.
So.
And they won't let the paternal grandparents see them.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so let me pull up Henry Tenon's affidavit real quick.
And he was the shooter?
He was the shooter, yeah. Okay. He lived at a rental property that they had.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't just some like rando that they pulled off the street.
No, Actually, let me show this one real quick before we do that. Reshare this. This is going to be a short clip that has Henry Tenon in it. Now he pled guilty, and he is to testify against Shanna and Mario.
Okay.
4 police say was ambushed and killed in February of last year after stopping to remove a tire from the road. Tonight, we're seeing body camera footage and video of the interview with the first of 3 people arrested in this high-profile murder. Henry Tenon, he is now 62 years old. He pleaded guilty to being the triggerman. Investigators say Tenon was hired for the attack by Bridegan's ex-wife, Shanna Gardner, and her husband, Mario Fernandez. News4Jax reporter Vic Micolucci tells us that Tenon's arrest was the first big break in this case.
You get your ID on you? It starts with a simple traffic stop for speeding on Jacksonville's west side. It's August 2022, and police learn the man behind the wheel is wanted for something much more sinister.
This is a suspect connected to the Jax Beach murder.
Is that too loud?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Detectives had been planning to talk to Henry Tenon anyways about his involvement in the ambush murder of Jared Bridegan in Jacksonville Beach 6 months earlier. Patrol officers find a shotgun in his trunk, but note, it is in bad shape.
Either that thing was sitting at the bottom of a river or that thing is old. You were right. It's old.
Still, Tenon is told he's under arrest for driving with a revoked license and being a felon with a firearm. He'd been in prison for a year 2 decades ago for habitual traffic offenses. They haul him off to the Crime Gun Intelligence Center, which JSO shares with the state attorney and ATF.
Hey, Muggsy.
Catch you down real quick.
Muggsy, thank you again for that cash out. I appreciate you.
Here, a CJIC detective and a Jacksonville Beach investigator tell Tenon the real reason they want to talk to him.
Somehow Henry got caught up in something, and now it's spiraling out of control because these other people involved, because this is your vehicle involved that you're in, are going to point the finger at you, and they've already started to do that because no one wants to go to prison for the rest of their life.
Much of the interview.
Thank you so much, Muggsy. I appreciate you becoming a member. That means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Muggsy. That was nice.
Yeah.
Is muted, and evidence the detectives show is covered up with a black box. But it ends like this.
Ain't nothing else I can do you. I don't think I need an attorney.
It isn't until January that Tenon will be charged with Bridegan's murder. He pleads guilty to second-degree murder and agrees to testify against his 2 alleged co-conspirators, Bridegan's ex-wife Shanna Gardner and her new husband Mario Fernandez. Both were later arrested. They are charged with first-degree murder and setting up the hit. Each could face the death penalty. The connection? Besides owning the truck seen leaving the killing in surveillance video, Tenon is renting a room in a home that Fernandez owns, which we see in the body camera footage from the morning police arrested Tenon for that traffic stop.
Hello, this is a free call from
Henry.
Also in the evidence file, calls Tenon makes while behind bars at the Duval County Jail. In one of those, he tells a woman,
It ain't looking good. Just put it like that.
Oh, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm probably going to be here for a while.
I wish you was calling with some good news, like you're getting released or something.
Don't look that way anyway, so far.
Well, hopefully they'll realize that it's not you.
Uh-huh.
Tonight, Tenon remains behind bars. He faces at least 15 years in prison. His co-defendants are awaiting trial after pleading not guilty. I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
We reached out.
So I have a question about that. Why are they facing the death penalty and he's only facing 15 years?
Because he took a plea deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that makes sense. Because I'm like, he was the one who actually pulled the trigger. So
Yeah.
why are they looking at death and
Right.
okay. Crazy.
Yeah. We'll just briefly go over these documents. I'll go over the tenant stuff. Let's see. Share this real quick.
Somebody's barbecuing something and it smells so good.
You just made me like sniff the air. Thinking I was right next to
I don't know if somebody's barbecuing there, but they're barbecuing here.
Yeah. Okay, this is the arrest warrant for Henry. And I think the most important part is, hold on, let me grab my, fold this. Sorry, one second. Okay. I don't know where my fake dog went, but she's somewhere.
The AI dog.
Yes, I know. So stupid. Okay. Oh, there she is. Hi, Cooper dog. She's so funny. Okay. This was trying to think when the date was on this. Well, we'll get to the bottom of it. Is that banner thing in the way at the bottom?
A little bit. I mean,
Let me
it definitely
remove it
covers
from
up the last couple of sentences.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So Detective Johns, and we'll see him in the bond hearing. I'm going to kind of just like skim through this.
Okay.
But so it's saying that he's a police officer for the Jacksonville Police Department. Currently he just gives his role, his training. Okay, so it says here, on February 16th, 2022, Jared Bridegan was murdered shortly before 8 p.m. that evening. Bridegan was found lying in the roadway of the 4000 block of Sanctuary Boulevard in Jacksonville Beach, having suffered multiple gunshots. Based on the evidence at the scene and information uncovered in the subsequent investigation, both of which were detailed in this affidavit, Bridegan's death is best described as a targeted murder. It says immediately before his murder, okay, he was driving. And then it says he dropped off his twin children with whom he shared custody with his ex-wife, Shanna Gardner, at Gardner's nearby Jacksonville Beach home. Still in the car was Bridegan's 2-year-old daughter from his current marriage. Bridegan and his children had gone out for their routine, quote, date night dinner, and Bridegan and his youngest child were returning home for the evening. That's so sad. Like
So
he
she flat
literally
out
just
knew he had his toddler in the car.
Yep. Because he dropped the
Yeah.
twins off right
Yeah.
before.
Gross.
Consistent with the routine, he normally traveled home. And it's like, I don't know if she either knew his route or someone followed him,
Right.
because they knew the time and they knew the road.
And they knew where he was going to go.
It says Bridegan turned onto Sanctuary Boulevard, a road he used to access J. Turner, blah, blah. This road, unlike the nearby commercial area, is dark and mostly residential with no businesses in the immediate area. Bridegan came upon a damaged tire in the road that blocked the path of travel. Analyzing all the evidence in totality, Bridegan stopped his car, turned on his hazards, and opened his door. Upon exiting the car, he was shot multiple times and died at the scene. His 2-year-old daughter was strapped in the car seat in the back seat. Other than the murder, she was the only witness to her father's murder. And what's interesting, and we'll see, is that the little girl actually was telling the guy that the Good Samaritan,
Yeah.
that her daddy was sick because he was laying in the road.
Oh no.
It's so sad.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if she can say that at 2 years old and
Yeah.
even was able to tell the deputies, like,
That her daddy is sick.
yeah, her daddy was sick. But okay, it says Bridegan's wife, KB. Now, at this point, when he was arrested, Shanna and Mario were not arrested yet.
Okay.
They had actually up and like moved to Washington. So she
basically
went,
they fled, I mean, not blatantly, but
yeah. So
like they had intended upon doing this and then leaving. apparently. It was
Yeah.
planned.
Now, the house that she moved into, it's a really nice house. It was like $1 million home.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they had it built or if they, I mean, because it's such a jump from Florida
Right.
to Washington. And when she was arrested, like he had been staying back in Florida, her husband. So he was actually arrested in Florida.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm just basically this case has been going on, I mean, for a while. But
Yeah, it was February 2022, it sounds like.
yeah. And they didn't arrest her right away. And for a while there, all that was known was that Henry Tenon, everybody, I think, has suspected that she had something to do with it, you know,
Right.
because they were in a bitter divorce or custody battle and things like that. It was just really rocky. So I think a majority of people suspected it.
Right.
But let's see. Excuse me. I have my mic routed differently, so I totally apologize if you guys hear more than normal. Because I don't have any of like background noise stuff or anything
Right.
on today. So let's see. Says Bridegan's wife, KB, that's the new wife. Well, not
Right.
new, but current wife.
The current wife.
Yeah. Spoke to him just moments before the murder. She told investigators there was nothing unusual in that conversation. Bridegan was not armed and there were no evidence of a struggle. Bridegan's personal items, his wristwatch, wedding ring, money, phone, wallet, were not taken. His car was not stolen and his daughter was not physically harmed. Trajectory rods and ballistics show that projectiles struck the interior of the vehicle, including metal and glass, within feet of where the child was strapped into her car seat in the rear passenger side of the vehicle, an act that reasonably could have been expected to cause physical or mental injury to her. Witnesses advised that the child was crying when they arrived on scene. Just after 8 p.m., February 16th, Jacksonville Beach Police Department officers arrived on scene to the homicide. They found 33-year-old Bridegan dead outside his car. After the scene was secured, police collected evidence and canvassed the area seeking witnesses and surveillance video. Actually, yes, Ed. Yes, I am. Right here with this
Are you
murder right
senior
here.
or junior, Ed? Which one are you?
Please.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on real quick. I gotta go to your channel real quick. Will you type something in the chat, Geneva?
In the main chat?
And this chat.
Okay. Let me go in.
Oh, Ed Norton. You
That's why I
just
said.
started your YouTube channel yesterday.
Oh.
Okay. It should work. So if you type something again, you should have something.
Okay.
Sorry for that interruption by Mr. Ed.
See, look at all the trolls out there. They're mad. They don't know what it's like.
I don't even know. I was messing with the volume on that, so I don't even know if it was very loud.
It was a little quiet, but I heard it.
Was it okay? Oh, let's see.
Haters and trolls.
All right,
Oh
back to my
God.
sheet. Okay, let's see. We're at, hey, Shill. Investigation has included witness interviews, more than 77 subpoenas, and more than 30 search warrants and review of blank. These, along with other investigative tools, have led to the identification of the suspect, Henry Tenon. Oh, Muggsy, you're still here. I figured you might have said hi and dipped out. Well, thank you for sticking it out. Let's see. The damaged tire in the middle of the roadway was too large to drive over. Motion-activated surveillance videos around the homicide scene suggest to affiant that the damaged tire was not in the roadway shortly before the shooting, because no vehicles driving on blah, blah, blah were seen swerving to avoid the damaging tire. This part's important because it says that I just bit my tongue. The, my no teeth and all.
Right.
The damaged tire as belonging to a 2004 Ford F-150 Lariat. Let's see, go back. We don't really need to know about how much he weighs. Tenon has a criminal record in the states of Georgia and Florida, including multiple felony convictions for driving on a suspended license, habitual traffic offender, burglary, grand theft, and unlawful possession of a firearm. The investigation revealed Henry Tenon possessed a blue F-150 Lariat, matching the description of the suspect truck. Let's see.
Well, that wasn't very smart.
No. Like, some of these people, I swear, we see so many criminals that are just dumb as shit.
Yep.
It says he was arrested on an unrelated felony driving charge. During the custodial interview, Tenon was questioned about the murder and the F-150. Let's see. A lot of this is blocked out because of the Shanna Gardner case was still going on at the time. Investigation revealed a single link between Jared and Henry Tenon. Mario Fernandez-Saldana, I was like, they worded that weird. Okay. Tenon was a tenant in a home on Potomac Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida, owned by Fernandez-Saldana. Now, I believe that Shanna Gardner owned the house and put him on the deed for it instead. Yeah.
Okay.
Part of me feels like she was preparing to get arrested and was handing over
Well, and
assets.
also if they were going through a bitter divorce, she could have been hiding assets too.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're very law-abiding whatsoever.
Right.
So it says the investigation into his background. Okay, this goes on about Shanna. Here's evidence of payment. Affiant received Tenon's financial records from PNC Bank on October 14th, 2022. Upon conducting the initial review, 3 handwritten checks were discovered from Fernandez-Saldana. Sometimes when you look him up, he's going to be under just like Mario Fernandez or Mario Saldana.
Okay.
But it's like a hyphenated last name.
Yeah.
Tenon's Potomac lease ended in February 2022, according to Tenon's roommate, Jeremy. During his interview, Tenon denied having any phone contact with Fernandez-Saldana after ending his lease, except for a single contact in May. This claim was belied by phone toll records, which showed that Tenon and Fernandez-Saldana had 35 phone contacts in February, blah, blah, blah. So it just basically gives the connection there. More redactions. The only link between Tenon and Bridegan is Fernandez-Saldana. Fernandez-Saldana paid the suspect blank after the murder. Minutes after Bridegan dropped his children off at Gardner and Fernandez-Saldana's home and began driving his usual route home, a damaged Ford F-150 tire blocked Bridegan's travel, basically the same thing we just read.
Right.
And so that is basically his affidavit. So, and then they picked him up. So there's that one. Oh, this dog is so jumpy. What the fuck? Now, what interests you more? The bond hearing, and where a lot of the details come into play in the bond hearing too.
Okay. Well, yeah, but if the details come into play there, then that's fine. We don't need
Yeah,
to
because they bring in evidence,
Okay.
and the detective testifies in
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So, but we have the evidence report, but I feel like I want to redact a little bit more. I mean, we could do some of it, but I think it'd be interesting to look at
Okay.
maybe after.
Okay.
So should I start the bond hearing in a separate live and just transfer us all over to that one? Or keep it on this one? I already have a thumbnail done for it.
I mean, you have a thumbnail for it on
For the
another
bond
live, you
hearing,
mean?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I would just move over to it wherever you have, like wherever you want to have it saved.
Okay, let me sorry guys. I want to scheduled. Here we go. Give me 1 second here. Actually, I'm going to put something on while I finish this. So I'll have something playing. So
Okay.
I'm like, oh man, I was going to do the bond hearing on a completely separate live, but this is going to be ex-wife of Jared Bridegan, father killed in Jacksonville Beach speaks. So at least then it's not me typing or anything while I schedule it.
This year, 33-year-old father Jared Bridegan was gunned down in front of his 2-year-old daughter. It's a murder that stunned Jack's Beach neighbors, which have rallied behind his widow and 4 children. Now, some tabloids have cast suspicion on his ex-wife, Shanna Gardner. Those tabloids followed and photographed her and questioned her innocence.
And Gardner has not spoken publicly to anyone about Bridegan's murder until now. And tonight, in the only TV interview she says that she will be doing, Action News Jack's Kristen Rary has the exclusive interview with Gardner.
As her innocence has come into question, Shanna Gardner spoke to me in the only TV interview she says she'll be doing to tell her side of the story.
I do want people to understand, where I'm coming from.
Almost 5 months after Jared Bridegan was murdered in the street in front of his 2-year-old daughter, we spoke with his ex-wife, who has not commented publicly so far. Our first question: why have you stayed silent?
I was asked to not talk to the media or give a public statement, but with the level of speculation, I felt that now it was necessary to speak out.
Shanna Gardner revealed she was asked by Jared Bridegan's widow, Kirsten, not to speak publicly, but we wanted to know how the relationship could have gotten to that point.
I'm sure you would say that we've had happy moments. I mean, we share the 2 most beautiful children in the world.
In 2015, Jared and Shanna divorced. Their court records, which we obtained from the St. Johns County court system, revealed a long, complicated process lasting over 5 years.
Anytime divorce comes into any situation, it's messy.
not
It just
an excuse
is.
for
I will
murder.
say
Jesus.
that I think that we both love our kids.
Jared and Shanna both wanted full custody. The court file details allegations of spying, deceit, and more. In the end, Shanna and Jared reached an agreement. They shared custody, and whenever the children were at one parent's house, the other would come over Wednesday and have a date night. That's exactly what Jared and his twins did the night he was killed.
It was actually one of the things.
Oh God.
Sorry. I remember my son tucking him in and him saying that it was a good date night.
But that happiness would end
Ridiculous.
just minutes after leaving Shanna's house just over 2 miles from her home. In a quiet neighborhood with few security cameras, a tire was rolled out into the street. Jared got out of his car to move it and was shot dead. His 2-year-old daughter sat in the car, strapped into her car seat alone for 3 minutes before someone came to help.
I was shocked.
How fucking reckless.
I fell to the floor because I was devastated for what I was going to have to tell my kids.
Jared died in that street, leaving behind 4 children and a heartbroken family.
They were, I think, in shock.
Later, in a blog post, Shanna's mother said she was not invited to the funeral. I asked Shanna about the situation.
His family did not invite me or want me there.
But the day before a vigil hosted by Jared's widow at Celebration Park, Shanna was photographed at the park with her kids by the tabloid Daily Mail.
Talk about a violation of privacy, because my kids know that they were photographed and they were worried.
The tabloid presented the facts in a way
she doesn't
that
give a
leave
shit
room for
about her
speculation
kids
about Shanna.
if she was willing to do that. And now her kids have no parents.
Right. Yeah.
Pisses me off.
It was selfish.
Having a role in Jared's
Yeah.
death, citing their rocky divorce papers and her absence from the funeral.
Even though we didn't always get along, he was still the father of my kids.
So I asked Shanna the question.
Did you have anything to do with Jared's murder?
No, I did not have anything to do with his murder.
Shanna says she has no idea if the murder was targeted or what Jared was involved in, saying they ran in different circles. But Action News Jax reported in June, Shanna had hired criminal defense attorney Hank Cox.
He was referred to me by several friends, and ultimately my kids' images and videos were being used in the media without consent.
Shanna said Cox was hired to protect her kids. I asked her if she thinks she will face criminal charges. She says no, that she's cooperated with detectives.
Do you have any idea who might have done this?
I do not have any idea. As I said, we've been divorced. We don't run in the same social circles. All I know is that I would never want anybody to go through this.
She told me if she could speak to Jared again, she'd say one thing.
Honestly, that I wish it weren't like this. I wish things could have been and could be different.
And Shanna told me despite this happening in her neighborhood, despite many people around her discussing the case, she has no intention of leaving Jax Beach or Jacksonville. Meanwhile, police continue their search for the killer, and they ask the community for any help it can provide. For local coverage you can count on, in the studio, Kristen Rary, Action News Jax.
I don't know how you could do that with a straight face, you know?
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, it does kind of, in a way, almost remind me of Ashley Benefield, where it's like you're completely selfish, and you take out the other parent and you don't ever stop to think about the fact that you're leaving your own child with no parents.
Yeah. Okay, I've got the other one set up, and then we'll just go right into the bond hearing. It's set for a half hour from now. Obviously, I just want to run the dog out, and then we can go early.
Okay. The AI dog?
So, yes, the AI dog. Actually, the little dog's in my office right now, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to run her out real quick. The old dog.
Right.
The other AI dog.
The other AI dog.
Yeah. So I put the link in chat in case the redirect doesn't work. But as soon as I end this If you're watching, it's just going to automatically take you straight over to the bond hearing stream. And I will see you guys shortly after I let the dog out. So I thank you guys for at least getting this started with me. I think it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. And then I have an OnlyFans case that I wanted to look at with you guys soon, as well as there's some FBI files that I wanted to look at as well.
Yep.
So thank you, Geneva. I just saw that.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys here very shortly, very soon. Very shortly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Very shortly. Yeah, soon.
Yeah, right. And thank you again. Thank you for becoming a member, Muggsy. I really, really appreciate that. And just, I appreciate that. So I'll see you guys here in a few.
All righty.
All right.